Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are checking out Shoto's Shoujo Rei cover. Now, I'm interested to check this out. Last time we checked out his Overdose cover, and I kind of learned he has like a breathy, soft, ASMR-like voice. And so I'm excited to see what he does this time, what kind of song this is, and just what his voice is like here. I'm interested to see how different this is from his Overdose cover as well. So I hope you all are excited. I am certainly. So let's jump in 3, 2, 1, play. Okay, starting off with some ambience. Oh, okay. Alright, going for like a cheerful summer vibe. Alright. Alright, so already we're starting off with that soft, breathy approach to his projection. It's very, very soft, and the percussives and all this instrumentation is like kind of really like excited and inviting and happy. So it's quite an interesting dichotomy we have between the very laid-back nature of his voice and the very active nature of the instrumentation here. This song actually sounds familiar. I like that bass there. It's interesting how he's singing this, because it's very laid back and soft, but you can still tell he's like building up here, because he has a sustain and the instrumentation is leading towards a build up, but his voice is very consistent. You know, it doesn't feel like he's really teasing a build up necessarily in his voice. Ooh. Nice. I like the vocal layering here. It definitely helps add to the impact and progression of the cover here. I do wish his voice was a little higher in the mix, because sometimes I feel like it's a little bit hard to completely hear like the entire spectrum of his voice, of his vocal tracks, especially when the percussive and the instrumentation is so like active. But I will say I really like how he eases into it. You know, you can still tell there's progression, but it's still very consistent. It's not like there was a massive switch up or he had a massive demeanor change, because he just kind of eased into it. He knows he's going to have vocal layering. He knows the mix is going to expand. He knows it's going to be more grand, so he's not overcompensating for that in his voice. He knows that that progression is going to happen naturally, which is very comfortable. I just do wish he was a little louder just in the mix, because it does feel like he's being obscured a tiny bit. Those keys sound really good up high. Alright. Oh, nice. I like that palm muting there. Interesting. Okay, so instead of getting more active, we're actually getting like a softer and kind of retreating the air a bit. You can hear that like that slight like vocal fry pretty much, where it's just like that like trembling of the vocal cords really right there. You can hear in this new segment that we started. It's an interesting progression. I not something I would have expected, because you would expect sort of after that big moment with the chorus there, I'd kind of expect it to be like more intense, but instead we're kind of pulling back, which I don't dislike at all. I think it's very interesting because Shoto's voice is just so naturally, well, I don't know if it's natural or not, but he's just very, very soft, and it's a very laid back voice. And I don't mean laid back in a bad way. I just mean it's like a very inviting, soft, easy to listen to voice. It definitely sounds like an ASMR like an ASMR voice. So it's interesting to see how he uses that in his song, just interpretation, his interpretation of music, because normally you'd kind of feel like there's more projection, but he's kind of taking it in a different aesthetic. Ooh, I like that string tremolo there. Like here, like right there, we're like almost down it feels like we're down to a whisper almost. You know, I do wish that his voice was a little louder, but I don't think the whisper is like a bad thing. I don't think that breathiness, it feels like it's something that defines his voice. So I think it's a good thing to have. I just do wish the vocal track was higher in the mix, because I want to hear more of his voice. I feel like I'm not getting enough of it, but I don't dislike what I'm hearing. Alright. Alright, percussive lit. Nice. The keys are matching. Nice. I really like the vocal layering here. He has a wonderful harmonization here. His harmonization is really, really satisfying to hear. Ooh. Complete cutout. Was not expecting that. This is a big intermission. Oh, is this a movie song? This song sounds familiar, but I don't know what it's from. Listen to that instrumental climb. That instrumentation is just going for a steady climb up high, which is interesting because we're very consistent with our vocals right here. Nice. And then bass vocal. Nice. Okay, that is my favorite. That was good. I really like the choral harmonization there. I really like the lift we had. We even had a break in the sustain as well. Nice. I like that. Nice, projecting more on that. Nice. 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 He's not getting too much louder in the mix, but at the excess of vocal harmonization, the vocal layering, as well as just, I mean, he is projecting more here. So this is like what I would have expected to have in the beginning, and then I would have expected it to get like a more intense, like a higher velocity of air around this segment. But I don't dislike what he did. I don't dislike this aesthetic, because it does feel like a very soft and inviting song, just like aesthetically. But I don't think that his vocal should have been that low, especially in the beginning. I say beginning, maybe like first half, first 2/3 of the song. I don't think his voice should have been mixed that low in volume. Nice, I like that. Nice. Just some steady choral backings. Feeling the song. Nice, get the layering in there. Let the instrumentation close out. Okay, yeah. Okay, this is definitely a movie song. This is definitely a movie song because this is like a reference to the movie, or maybe that's just like how it is in the movie. This is definitely a movie song. I don't know from what movie though. The song sounds really familiar, but I don't know where I've heard it. I don't know. Just let me know in the comments below if you know. But the song sounds familiar, but I don't know what movie it's from or anything. Oh yeah, we've got a little laugh as well. Mixing a little laugh there. Alright. Well, overall, that was a really solid cover from Shoto. I do think that, you know, for my personal preference, it was a little too consistent. I would have liked a little more dynamic taste in the vocal tracks, but I still think that Shoto's got a stellar voice. I mean, it just the soft demeanor of his voice is so inviting, and it's pretty versatile. You know, at first when I heard the Overdose cover, I wasn't sure if it was a very versatile voice. So I was like, maybe he is more suited to, you know, the very like slower style songs. But I think he can definitely. I think it is a very versatile voice. I just don't think he's really like going for the high velocity projection of his voice. I don't know if it's just like a personal preference thing, or maybe he just feels more comfortable with this style of singing, or maybe he just thinks it sounds better when he sings like this, which is perfectly valid. I mean, I don't think he sounds worse necessarily. He sounds awesome here. But it's just like I would have liked to see a little bit of a switch up, not necessarily a switch up, but just like a little bit of more change in the vocal tracks as the song goes forward. But this wasn't bad, and we did get a change in form of the mix. Not necessarily, we did get more projection from Shoto, but it definitely felt like the mix was really enforcing the progression of the song here, with the vocal layering and the backing vocals and everything. But I will say he executed it flawlessly. Like, there was a plan, and he executed it, and it was great. Yeah, I do think definitely his vocals should have been just like, I feel like across the board, just for the entire song, if his vocals were just bumped up a little bit, I think that would be more. I just think it would sound better, especially for a VTuber cover, you know, because when you're doing a VTuber cover, it's very focused on the vocalist. You want to showcase the vocalist as much as possible. So, unless you're also doing the instrumentation or anything like that. But if it's a cover that's made to showcase the vocalist, then you want to showcase the vocalist. So it makes sense to have the vocals a little louder. So, you know, I don't think he should shy away from that. And maybe he didn't, but, you know, I'm just saying, if that was a conscious choice to have the vocals that low, I think he shouldn't feel bad about bumping that up, even if it's higher than the original. But aside from that, I mean, this was super solid. I mean, Shoto had some awesome harmonies here. I really loved his choral backings as well. It was just a super solid. So yeah, thank you very much for letting me know about this, and thank you very much for watching. As always, feel free to recommend more things for me to check out in the comments below. And if you like the reaction, feel free to subscribe if you want to see more. Aside from that, I will see you all next time. Thank you so much for watching.